Hey folks, this is Matt. So, something that's been happening for me the last couple of days, I am going through a sugar detox from the holidays. And what's really funny is Friday I went to an open house event at a local community, and on the table, on the spread for the table, there were a lot of food. There was a lot of food, but there's also like some king cakes, some chocolate, some goodies, right? And they didn't get touched too much, right? And it came up in conversation with a couple of people there that they were also doing the same thing. They were going through their sugar detox, and I think it's nice not to feel alone in that, because I like to hear confirmation that other people are finding what I'm finding, which is that if I eat a lot of sugar, this is turning into a health tip. I'm sorry, I know we're supposed to be doing tarot readings, but I find when I eat too much sugar, I get depressed. It's the same thing when I eat too much bread, eat too much certain kinds of carbohydrates. I start getting depressed. And so for me, I've had conversations with people about my diet, and sometimes it sounds extreme because I really don't. It's just like meat and vegetables most of the time, and some fruit, right? And people are like, well, you look thin, which I don't. I mean, side note, I've never felt thin in my life, and I have some weird body stuff that is connected with family, right? There's just weird body stuff that I've had to work through. And I've only recently, the last 2 years, seen myself as moderately normal looking to attractive. That idea has not really been something that is locked into my brain. And I say all this because people will be like, well, you're so thin, why do you eat a diet like that? I'm like, it's not about weight at all. It's about as soon as I learned Reiki, I realized and discovered that my nervous system functioned better when I was not eating sugar, or when I was eating less sugar. I noticed this when I go on long fasts. If I go on I just went on a 36-hour fast and just got off of it today. And I right now I notice my system running so much better. And it is just getting all that toxic crap out of there, and it takes a while to do, right? Sugar can take up to 3 weeks to get it all out of your system, and it sucks in that interim period. But when you finally get it out, you feel great. Your energy's better. Your mind functions a lot better. You just feel better. You just really do, or at least I do. I shouldn't put this out there for y'all. Everybody's different. Everybody's body is different. Anyway, that's about 3 minutes of me rambling, and a personal card just flopped. It is Four of Wands, which I like this card a lot because I'm about to go to a dance today, a conscious dance, which I'm really looking forward to. And Four of Wands, primarily in terms of tarot symbolism, we'll take a step back from the Trailer Park Warlock Tarot sort of subtleties or nuances or specifics, and just go into Four of Wands generally, right? This is a card of a meeting place, happy reunions. This is a card also of hearth and home. So this could be a signal of somebody's moving in a direction towards establishing a home for themselves. I know for myself I certainly am, and I've talked about this in previous readings. And because it's in Wands energy, it's feeling a pull towards it, feeling that's the direction to go. It's like have you ever walked into somebody's house and just been like, I want to live in this house. I wish I could live here. And then you kind of like want to create your own version of it, right? That's what I get from Four of Wands. But also, I mean, it's about ecstasy, dance, happiness, you know. It's a good card to start off with, for sure. So for Four of Wands, is this being established just for themselves, for others? Who's all in this group? Knight of Cups. This is implying for others. So somebody out there, they're establishing their home base because they want to invite love in, or they want to create a space that allows love to come in, that allows emotional safety, emotional vulnerability to make its move, right? Knights, you know, knights are generally cards of movement, action, but they always describe some kind of movement, right? So like if it's pentacles, it's like a slower movement. If it's swords, it's a much faster movement. If it's wands, it's erratic. But for cups, I mean, the first word that comes to my mind is rushing, right? Like rushing in. I even have like a little waterfall in the background of this illustration. And I talked about this in a previous reading. There is one little thing about Knight of Cups, which is there's a certain brashness to the Knight of Cups. So it's sort of like, you know, you're establishing this space and you are adamant, right? Like, come on over, come on in. This is a love place. So, who is Knight of Cups? Is there... Well, I've already asked that question. What does Knight of Cups success look like? Jeez, 10 of Cups. That's like mission accomplished. So, just kind of going over this card, the illustration, what it means to me, and how I like interpret it in this reading right now. I mean, we have two, for those who have read Trailer Park Warlock, Henry and Leah. I actually can't remember her name right now. Yeah, I think it's Leah. You know, in a previous life, they were pirates together. And so, when I see this card, a lot of times I kind of like, I think about the theme song to One Piece, We Are on the Cruise, and I think about, you know, it's not just like it's a place, right? It's a solid place, but it's not staying in one place, if that makes sense. It's like the love that Knight of Cups wants to build is one that isn't just fixed to one place. It's able to flow, right? Like water. It's stable, and yet it moves. We're going to go with that. We're just going to follow that lead. It's stable, and yet it moves. Seven of Pentacles. This is a card of an unfulfilled harvest, but one that is continuing to develop. It's growing. It's getting better. I shouldn't even say it's getting better. It's just going along the trajectory that it was meant to go on, right? All of the work that was initially put in is beginning to take root. Not just take root. I mean, it's beginning to ripen. But it isn't quite ready yet to pick, right? And this is going back to what I was saying about Knight of Cups. Some of y'all out there might be working to grow love in your life. And it can be easy to just like rush in, right? Rush into love. But if you want something that is like this and this, give it a little time to grow. Let love grow. It's not going to happen overnight. It may even have like some dead ends here and there, or it might have some like setbacks. It might have some unexpected turns. You might lose a couple of whatever it is you're growing, whether it's pomegranates or beets, potatoes. You're gonna lose some, especially if it's fruit. Especially if it's like blueberries, you're gonna get some deer and some birds getting in on that, and that's okay. Because the idea of growing abundance in your life and an abundance of love is that there is so much that you're not even worried about what you're going to miss out on. FOMO it goes out the door, right? And I think that that's like really crucial to the idea of 10 of Cups in my mind, is like, you are so satisfied. You're not afraid of missing out on anything else in your life. You're locked in. Like, you're just like, this is the place. This is where I want to be. It reminds me of the Talking Heads song, This Must Be the Place, right? Home is where I want to be. And this is, like, right now, this reading is all about, like, somebody is making a home. This reading could just as well be for me right now. But I imagine it's for a lot of y'all. You may feel like, you have a home, but you don't quite have, like, a home. Like a home, like a family. You don't feel like you have people that you really click with. And it's easy to get into a mindset where you're really afraid that you're going to miss out on those opportunities. And so my next pool here is, I want to go with like, this must be the place. This must be the place, right? Wherever you are, this must be the place. Hanged Man. That is a card of shifting perspective. This is a card of looking at things from the other person's shoes. So while you're busy growing that love, you or somebody else may be going through this process of considering, how does this relationship impact you and the other? How do y'all fit, right? And also, this is a card of looking at it from not just one altered perspective, but like from many altered perspectives, right? This is like looking at it from, how does society look at how we relate to each other? How does the future look to it? How does the past look to it, right? How does my past self look at this? Look at what's developing. Because it's easy, it can be easy when you're cultivating new friendships, new relationships, to be in a place of, is this person like, they might have similarities to somebody in the past that hurt me. But everybody has similarities to somebody else. Like, even people, I've met a fair amount of people who are so wholly uniquely themselves, but had attributes that reminded me of other people in my life. And that's just psychology 101, quite frankly. Like, we seek out things that are familiar to us. And it's easy, to a certain extent, I look at the Hanged Man, and this is the first major arcana card on the table. And I think, okay, this is indicating something very important, which is internal, like looking internally and going, like, all right, like, what aspects of this person's familiarity is just not necessarily coincidental, but it's just a roll of the numbers, of course they're going to have some similarities that are common with, a family member or a past friend or a past lover. And of course there are aspects of myself that are drawn to that and attracted to that. And that's okay. Like, it's okay to have those attractions. What is important is to make sure that you look at it holistically and you go, okay, they may have similarities to this person from the past, but how do they actually act and behave? And how do they treat me? And do I feel good with the way that they treat me? Are there similarities from past people that, I don't feel good about, right? I don't want that in my life. And so that's what I get from the hangman. That's that, you're on the path to here, and you are doing this work right here, right? But I'm going to keep that card away. As part of this work, you have to also do this work. You have to be willing to look at it from so many different perspectives. And so, moving forward in this reading, what is Hangman seeing? Queen of Pentacles. Well, that's really great. Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is nurturing, super attractive, sensual. This is somebody who is like a master manifester, diligent, hardworking, and is very good at taking care of herself. So the hangman is mulling over this person and trying to understand, like, okay, how much of this person reminds me of somebody that I knew from the past? How much of this person is wholly unique? How much of this person do I resonate with, right? And it's Queen of Pentacles, so I'd say a fair amount. And I love this within the context of the Trailer Park Warlock Tarot, because we have Darla in Seven of Pentacles, and we have Darla as Queen of Pentacles, right? I did not, by the way, this is a side note, but like, I did not really think this out through when I wrote the character of Darla that she was going to be a Taurus. Like, I was just like, but it works perfectly in her allotment in the in this tarot. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I mean, this is resonating pretty well. But like I said, there is a lot of mulling over going on. A lot of perhaps analysis paralysis. And I would say, for Hangman, what's going to get him what's going to get him down from the branches? Yeah, I think that's the best way of putting it. What's going to get him down from the branches so that he can get back on this road to Ten of Cups? Page of Pentacles. More Pentacles energy. Okay, this reading keeps getting really interesting. So, it's either an offer made to him or him making an offer. Now, it being the Hanged Man, I want to say that he is in a passive state and that it is about an offer being made to him from Queen of Pentacles. And why does the Hangman need to do all of this analysis? It could be past trauma. I mean, we could pull a card to see, why is the Hangman kind of stuck, right? And it's because things are just moving fast, right? Chariot card. You got Knight of Cups. I mean, Chariot's almost like the Pokemon evolution of Knight of Cups in a way. because Chariot is Cancer, right? It's a card of Cancer. It's a big water energy, and it's moving fast. This is another rushing water type card. But a big part of Chariot is alignment. So, like, what I'm getting is Hangman's just trying to make sure all the elements are aligned within himself before moving forward. And I think part of that is a certain amount of equilibrium of, giving and receiving between him and Queen of Pentacles. And so that is my read on it right now. That's why Hangman is in that state, because he is in this huge, moment of aligning himself completely and fully to what is going to lead to this, right? And I want to reiterate in this reading, I think the biggest theme that is coming out, I mean, there's two big themes, but the biggest one is movement, adaptability, the ability to, flow with how things are going, right? Don't get stuck in one place, which is kind of the Hangman's issue right now. But it's a productive place, right? It's all these frickin' Pentacles cards are very much indicating it's very productive. It's going in the right direction. It's slow moving, but it's moving. So I think this is the read. I don't think there's anything else that really needs to be added here. Because, like I said, I think the most important elements have been locked in. And that is, while you are doing this process of growth, while you are building these connections, don't get too stuck in analysis paralysis. Be willing to, to say, okay, at some point, we got to go, right? We got to move. And if we want to do one more card, we'll do one from the bottom of the deck. 8 of Wands. More movement. There is a lot happening in this reading. So this is, 8 of Wands is a directional movement. It's quick, it's fast. Some would even say urgent. But it's also primarily a card of communication. And in this illustration in particular, right after I pulled 8 of Wands from the bottom of the deck, Knight of Swords came out too. That's also more movement, more action. So I think Hangman is about to not just come down from the branches. He's going to he's going to fall from the branches. Somebody's going to cut the rope and just be like, it's time to come down, buddy. Card of communication. And in this illustration, I include several different individuals, right? And one of my favorite aspects of this card is that one of the wands is a broom riding on top of a mop riding on top of a broom. Everybody is, everybody's kind of moving in this direction. So it's not just Hangman that's on the move. It's everybody else. That's the alignment that's going on here. That's what the Chariot card is all about. It's all about everything is moving in the right direction, to the right place, to the right time, for the right purpose. It's very much it's like a more embodied version of the Star card, where the Star card's more dispersed. The Chariot card is it's consolidated. It's this is a weird. It's like Thanos got all of the gemstones for his Infinity Gauntlet, and he's ready to snap his fingers. That's the Chariot, right? Except less destructive. Except not destructive at all, right? In this reading, very much not destructive, very much, going to the happy place. I mean, look, on a certain level, I kind of hate readings like this because I'm just like, I'm always so cautious and anxious about the future that I have a hard time. I have a hard time coping with overly optimistic messages, even though I want to hear them all the time. This is an incredibly optimistic message for anybody out there who is, building relationships, whether they're romantic relationships, friendships, communities. Because, Four of Wands is in here, so that's a big community card in my mind. This is, like I said, if you're going through this process, you should be chuffed right now. Like, you are probably already feeling it, and you don't even need this reading. But here it is as further confirmation for you. So really, my only advice to you is to go have a great frickin' day, have fun, enjoy the people that you're around, and try not to get too caught up in like overanalyzing everything. Be willing to see things from other people's perspectives. That's always important to relationship building. But don't paralyze yourself with that process. That's all I really would have to say in addition to that. Because it's time to go. It's time to move. Love's waiting. It's out there. So why even wait another moment, right? Anyway, that's the reading. Hope you're having a great day, and we will talk again soon. If you enjoyed this reading, please feel free to leave a comment about how it resonated with you. And, like, subscribe, all that jazz. And like I said, we'll talk again soon. All right, bye.